It's the morning of the 21st of May, Tuesday. Aussie dollar chart. So we had a little bit of a bounce on the open after the election results. We went through the first level of 69, 69.11. I've got it on as a 23.6% fib. That was coupled with the 100-hour moving average. So I thought that would be good resistance. Obviously, with the election result, we just burst up through there. We didn't quite get as far as my 69, I think I had 69.35.45, or did I have 69.40.45? Anyway, we didn't quite get there. We got as high as 69.38, so we just missed that selling opportunity by a few pips. You can see, well, we're pushing up again as I speak, actually. We've bounced off this very, very short-term trend line, just a week-long trend line. We seem to be pushing higher. So the question is now, what happens around here, around the 69.40, 69.45 area? That should be strong resistance today, as you can see from this chart. Three good reasons: the fibs, the 200-hour moving average, and the trend line. So this will be our selling opportunity for the day. But if we break above this, then it's short-term bullish, and we can push up to 69, 65, 70, and maybe even get as far as 69, 90, 69, 95. By the time we get there, we'll be hitting this trend line, and we'll be hitting, well, the 500-hour moving average might be just a little bit below it. So there'll be a lot going on around there. So that'll be our second selling opportunity. New Zealand dollar, the short-term chart says it all. As you know, I've been bearish of this for a long time. It's dead easy. You just follow the trend. Today we've got resistance around 65, 45, 55. So bulls will be a little bit more in control above there. By the time we get there in a few hours, well, if we get there in a few hours, the 200-hour moving average will probably be around 65, 60. So I'd put a stop above 65, 60. If we push higher, less important resistance around 65, 75, 80. And then we'll have to see if we get up to 66, below 66 area. 66.0515 will be the next important resistance area. I just checked my spreadsheet. I had New Zealand dollar sell at 65.50. 65.50, 65.55. So 65.50 was the highest there. You may have got short. If you're short, well, or you may even be short from a long time ago. So you can see the plan of action there remains the same until we get a buy signal. This is the dollar yen. Little bounce back yesterday in line with the stock markets. The short-term chart shows us hitting 110.30, a little bit of fib resistance there. I had a sell a little bit higher up, actually, if I think I'm right in saying. I didn't see this as a great selling opportunity. I was obviously wrong. 38.2% fib worked as resistance, although I didn't see anything else there, so I just didn't think it was strong enough. But anyway, it did work. You can see actually really nicely how the levels, the fib levels are just working perfectly here. We topped out the 38% fib at 110.30. We dipped down to good support down here at 109.80, and we just bounced off it. So clearly those levels will be the important levels again for today: 109, sort of 85.80, and 110.25.30. I was looking at stronger resistance up here on the daily chart. Daily chart's more important than the short-term chart, so I'm looking at sort of 110.50, 110.60 from the trend line in the 100-day moving average. That to me is more important. We've even got the midpoint of the Bollinger Band coming down to meet that, and we've got the 23.6% fib on the longer-term chart on the daily chart at 110.64. So that to me is a more important sell area. Euro yen consolidating in recent days. We are sort of trapped in the moving averages here. To me, the important resistance will be around 123.15, 123.25 for obvious reasons. We've got the trend line going back about a week and a half. We've got the fib confluence of fib levels there. So let me just check my spreadsheet. Yeah, I've got a sell there at 115, 123.15, 25, stop above 145. We got to 123.18 early yesterday, so if you happen to get short on that, that worked really well. I would definitely try it again around that area, and as I say, a breakup, I've got to stop at 123.45. That gives us a lot of room. You could actually have a stop a little bit lower at, say, 123.40. Get up through there. We're going to be looking at 123.60, minor resistance. I wouldn't worry too much about that. This would be a great selling opportunity if we do burst higher and get up to 123.85, 95. Euro, I've got nothing to say on it. Really confusing, just sideways pattern. The Canadian dollar, very much in a sideways pattern. It's great if you're a scalper and you like to scalp these levels. We've got fib support down here at 133.70, 60. We haven't quite managed to reach those levels on the dips over in May at least. And then we've got, well, you can see the price action really is clear. These peaks up here have been acting as support, so anything up to around 134.00, down to about 133.70. For obvious reasons, with the fib down there. And then of course we've just got a lot of resistance up here at previous highs, so if you're scalping it, these moves, that's great, but there's nothing else for me to say about it really. We've got no direction. Cable has been dumping as expected. Yesterday more of a sideways pattern as we consolidate. No buy signal. I really wouldn't pay too much attention to this very tiny double bottom. Even if we were to rally, it wouldn't take us too far. 127.80, 127.90 maybe. So bears do look like they remain in control of this pair. Pound versus the yen looking a little bit more neutral now. We are very oversold. That does not necessarily mean we're going to rock it. It could just mean that we trade sideways to ease those oversold conditions over the next few days and into next week. Well, certainly towards the end of the week anyway. The inside day, that's another neutral signal as we traded inside of Friday's range. Looking at the hourly chart, okay, we've broken above the downtrend, the 2-week downtrend, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to reverse into a bull trend. It might just mean we trade sideways. So watch resistance from the 100-hour around 140.40, 140.50. If we get up as far as 141.15.25, that should be quite good resistance with the 200-day moving average heading towards that. We would meet that if we managed a decent bounce. Gold, that frustrating market, held this trend line going back to August 2018. So clearly, as I said yesterday, this is the most important level of the week, and it held. Not a huge bounce. So watch it again today. Well, 1274, 1273, break below 1270 will obviously be a sell signal. If we bounce, we've got 1280 to 1283 as resistance. If we break above there, we've got 1289, 1290. These are just scalping levels really. If you short and you nick 5-6 points, then that's good enough. Gold, as you know, is confusing. For me, this is the most important thing about gold today. 1274, 1273, sell a break below 1270. WTI crude oil edging higher, got to 63.81. I did suggest that $64 area would be strong resistance. So you can see that as we've rallied in the last 3 days, we've got long upper wicks on the candles. So sellers are coming in there. Aggressive sellers are coming in on each rally and pushing the market down. So I think eventually we will turn lower and retest that 60.90, 60.70 important support area. S&P, I'm remaining stubbornly bearish on this as well. You know, I have been for a couple of weeks now, and it's kind of working. We do get these strong bounce backs, but I'm looking at the trend lines. We're now holding below what should be good resistance around the 28.55, 28.60 area. So watch that for today. If we push above that, then we've got resistance at around 28, let's call it 28.72.75. A push above 80 would be more positive, and then we've got strong resistance around 28.95, 2900. I definitely would be selling up there. You know, that was my target for a short last week after we broke higher, but I never managed to get a short there. I'm not saying we will get there, but that would be a good selling area if we manage to get there. I don't think there's much on the daily chart, no. Again, I do think we're forming a head and shoulders pattern, so I need a break below 2800 to confirm that and give us a decent sell signal. Same picture for the Dow Jones, my little trend line there going back about 2.5 months, 3 months working. We will need to break what now should be very good support down at 25, 450, 420. You can see moving averages and fib support there. So, that will be the key for today. On the hourly chart, not much going on. You can see the bear trend. Actually, the fib levels are working really, really well. The 50% fib worked. The 38.2% fib worked. Well, it certainly has just on the bounce now as I speak. And down here we had very good support down at 25. What did I have on my report? I'll have to check it out. But anyway, it looks like we bounced right off this fib support too. So the fib levels are working for you scalpers. I think it's fair to say the Nasdaq bounce was stronger perhaps than the Emini S&P and the Dow in mid to end of last week. And now yesterday's plunge was a little bit more significant than those two markets. So again, head and shoulders pattern, you know, you're probably getting bored of me saying it, but this is what I'm looking at. Break below 72.90 will be our sell signal, and certainly after yesterday's price action, this is looking more likely that it will form. Bitcoin had that massive spike higher recently. I like to watch it. I don't trade it. I don't believe in Bitcoin. I think it's all anyway. I don't see how this is really going to materialize into our everyday lives, but that's another story. This is a potential double top when you look at the hourly chart. So if you are trading Bitcoin, just be aware of that. We will need to break above, well through 8,400 if the bull trend recovery is going to continue. But that is for me is a significant double top pattern. So could be worth a short. Could be it's volatile now. It's too much for me. I'm not going to trade this, but we are overbought as well.